Hey guys, this is Gamer Cow. Welcome back to another Pokemon Violet Wonderlocke episode. This time we're taking on the Elite Four and also that lady that's in the front there, the champion. So let's just get to it. I have set up a bunch of mini teams here for each of the battles because the level cap is level 62. Most of my stuff is between 58 and 60. They would over level if I used the same bunch the whole way through. And also, each one of them being a different type and whatnot, right? It makes sense to specialize when you are allowed to swap Pokemon in between rounds. This is something that's a little bit different from old Elite Fours and whatnot, where you were not allowed to do that sort of thing. But since we can, we might as well. So yeah, there's going to be 3 or 4 Pokemon per thing. I may bring in 1 or 2 extra ones that aren't really going to be that impressive just to, you know, have potential switching options, but I don't think that's going to happen somehow. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So, the Elite Four this time is more like an exam than anything else. We have Rika with her glasses on this time, the only time you get to see her with that. And yeah, I think you can maybe get in here before all 8 badges, but you automatically fail the interview bit here. This is still possible to fail, although I don't think I ever have, so I don't know about that one, but yeah, you may automatically fail depending on your answers. I think if you misremember stuff, then yeah, I came by a taxi over this, I'll be honest. So we are in the Uber Academy. If you're playing Scarlet, you would say Naranja here. Manzana is a very funny name, but yeah, so what brings us here? We, just for fun, I guess, came to become a champion, obviously. So why else would you be here? What do we want to become even stronger, because that's the thing. I think we could answer to battle Nimona, but yeah. The only one that gave us actual trouble here, the only one that cost us a Pokemon is Medley, right, from Larry. So good old Larry. It's usually the answer I end up giving, because I tend to get the least lucky with the stuff here for it. So yeah, which type did he use? He used the normal type. So, yep, I think if you get these wrong, you probably will fail. So, yeah. There's no mean feat. Yep, we must have met a lot. Do you remember who you started with? It was the Grass Cat. We did start Sprigatito in this one, so, yep. Repeat the previous one. We want to become even stronger. That's the same answer we gave before. I don't know if it matters too much, but I'm pretty sure it does. So, you know, say the same thing anyway. And, yeah. Final question is the big one. Do you like Pokemon? No. Imagine saying no to that at the end of all this. I don't care about Pokemon. I just hear that. It's a funny one to think off with. That wraps it up. Cause we passed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you just don't answer the memory-based questions correctly, then you get it wrong. Yeah, you have to restart. That's how it feels anyway. I don't actually know because again, I've never failed it, but you know, would make the most sense. Anywho, let's move on and go into our Elite Four assessment. Unlike previous generations, you can only ever fight this Elite Four once, and the very first version of this game, like before they patched the stuff, the music for this place bugged, and it only played the intro bit for it, and so yeah, we had a very disappointing first experience with this place because the music just like loops the same 10-second bit the entire way through, and that included for the champion too, which was really silly. So it took until like a second playthrough in order for me to actually hear the music for this place properly, because it just looped this bit, which, you know, ominous song, but it's supposed to have a whole proper thing to it, so yeah. Anyway, the Rika is a ground-type trainer, and so we are going to try and use Cacturne here. I mean, She has a lot of stuff which is still super effective against this, so it might not be the perfect option, but considering her final Pokemon has got Water Absorb, I don't really want to use the Water type stuff and like set up for say Blastoise and whatnot. Probably would be better for the long term, but I think I should still be faster. So we're gonna sub to get past the Blizzard stuff here. We're gonna wear that out, and once we are past that, I think we should be fine to set up Leech Seed stuff here. One of her Pokemon does have Sturdy, which is why I would like to have Bullet Seed as the option. I'm not sure. I imagine Cacturn with its high attack stats should be able to one-tap. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to worry about that. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. With loaded dice hitting 4 times, we should be able to one-hit the Sturdy Pokemon with Bullet Seed. And honestly, Bullet Seed should be basically everything I need here. There is still a Camerupt in this fight as well, which could be a bit of a problem. But I'm not really anticipating that being too big of a deal, because I think Bullet Seed can one-tap that as well. I just need to make sure I have a substitute available for it. And now that we're done with all of the Blizzard, that's 5 uses of it, we can go ahead and set up Leech Seed. And the Wishcash over here doesn't really have any other moves that are particularly good for us here. Earth Power is probably the best thing. That still does a reasonable amount of damage, but between Spiky Shield, and I don't believe that should break Substitute either, right? Maybe it did, and I just like missed it. But if it does, then I'm maybe in a little bit of trouble with Cacturn. But we'll see. So yeah, Earth Power. It has Muddy Water as well, but that's also not really that much of a concern. I mean, I have Water Absorb, so it literally isn't. And then the last move it has is Future Sight for whatever reason. Earthquake, Catfish, and all that. I do have a water type, a couple of water types with me just in case this becomes a problem, but I think we'll be okay. So try and set up a substitute, and hopefully this didn't break it. If it did, then I'm a little bit sad, to be honest, because then I'm probably going to have to switch out on the Camerupt, but it does not, so that's fine. So we'll do one more Spiky Shield in order to get just a little bit more health back off of it here. Since we don't have leftovers on this thing, we do have to be a little bit more concerned about our actual health total. So we'll get one more round of it here, and then we will go for our Bullet Seeds and just hopefully sweep through. So that's the goal. We'll hopefully just win out from here, and if everything goes according to plan, then there will not be any further issues. So let's just Bullet Seed. Obviously it's going to KO Wishcash, it's 4 times weak to it. It would have KO'd it from base. But the real ones are what comes after this, so we will see. There is one Pokemon which is faster than us out of this, so the substitute could break there. But yeah, this is the potential problem on it, is the Camerupt. So we could also stall this thing's Fire Blast out, but it also has Earth Power, and it would be a fair bit stronger than the Earth Power of the Whiscash. So we need a 5-hit. 50-50 on it, we do get it, so that's fine. Okay. A little bit spooky, a little bit closer than it should have been, but our substitute stays intact, so we won't have any issues against the Dog Trio later. And I think that's the only other thing that should be an actual threat here. So yeah, Donphan is the next one. This does have Poison Jab as a super effective move on us. It is also the thing that has Sturdy, as we know from our own one, but this should not be a problem at all. Yeah, well, maybe 4 hits will do it. Yeah, 4 hits will be fine. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was expecting. Oh, crit doesn't matter in this case, but nice to just secure it. So yeah, Donphan Sturdy is irritating. We are going to see Sturdy in the next fight as well, because I don't really have a good way around it for the next round. But this time was completely fine. Yeah, Dog Trio comes in. This will break our substitute, but doesn't really have anything super dangerous for us. I think the worst it could do is Sandstorm here, because it does have Sand Veil. so there is a chance this ends up being annoying, but thankfully not so this time round. So we just one-shot it with the 25 base power. That's pretty funny. It shows how frail Dugtrio is on the special side. So, yep. Oh, physical side even. Not since Gen 3 was Bullet Seed special, but that's okay. And yeah, we do actually get hit by Sandstorm despite being a cat turn because we have Water Absorb and not Sand Veil. So, you know, there is that, I suppose. Clodsire is her ace here, and this will Terastalize into the ground type, so it will become weak to grass instead of neutral to it. That's why I'm completely fine with this here. Shake things up a bit. She's like, yeah, she tries too hard to be cool, I think, Rika, but you know, is what it is. Clodsire's physical defense is quite a bit lower than its special defense, so if Donphan couldn't stand up to the thing here, then I don't expect this to either. It does have Protect, because it's got Toxic as one of its moves. So we do take a little bit more damage from the Sandstorm here, but honestly, we are healthy enough, and we also have the Substitute, so we will not die to Sandstorm, even if it managed to get 4 Protects in a row. So yeah, we'll be completely fine here. But let's see, it looks like it is gonna 4-hit, so that's perfectly good. And yeah, that's the first fight done. Cat turn actually gets to do its thing, and that's pretty good. This might be one of the last things Cat turn does until potentially the very, very end of the game. I have a feeling it's not sturdy enough to deal with Terapagos, but like it's one of the only things I can think of right now that might be able to do stuff against it. So we will see. But for now, it's done, and we can move on to the next fight. Talk about unfair. No way I was... Yeah, I mean, imagine having a grass type with substitute lead seed, right? Uh-huh. Who knows? Maybe you'll be one of the ones to win. That's the hope. You're up next, Squirt. Coming! Yep, so, Poppy, we finally get to beat a stupid face in. And, you know... Yeah, did you lose? Uh-huh. So, avenge me if you can. Yep. So, we do get to go into our boxes in between each of the things here. You can see the only one I can't use is the Venomoth because it's too high a level. The final level cap here is level 62. So, yeah, we can't do that. Is anything above? It is not. So, we could still use these for future battles as well, which is pretty good. I think I will keep the... yeah, I'll keep in the Chloritza as a result, because it might be useful for this round. So we'll do that just to be completely secure in what we want here. The rest of it I think is completely fine. So we will just move on and yeah, keep going. Apologies for the clicking of the mic and stuff. My throat has been a little bit weird just now, a little bit choked up. This is where you say bye-bye, miss. All the Pokemon are super tough. Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's make it happen. So, Poppy of the Elite Four. Now, it is a bit of a risk to send Arcanine in on stuff here because there's a lot of rock attacks and ground attacks between these ones, so we are... Smush 'em! We are running a little bit of a risk, but I think the power of this Flare Blitz is just so high that it's gonna one-shot everything anyway. So we should be fine. Setup moves are a little bit harder to use in this particular fight because a lot of the stuff is rather resistant. Like the Koffaraja has very strong attacks, and it does have Stealth Rock as well, so... Against Donphan, I mean, not against Donphan, against Bronzong, it does have Levitate, so bringing in Donphan myself is not really the best of ideas. I honestly, if I lose Arcanine here, it is going to be very sad, but I think Flare Blitz should just one-shot, and it does, yeah. I would be very surprised if it didn't. Because it's 120 base power of Flare Blitz on this, right? Corviknight coming on in, the only two weaknesses it has are Fire and Electric. It has Body Press. And this actually has Iron Defense as well. So if you thought it was just me that did setup stuff, nah, the AI can do it too. Just not on very many different Pokemon. But yeah, Flare Blitz is just going to get the KO, no problem here. The next one that comes in is the Magnezone. This is the one that has Sturdy and is like pretty annoying to deal with here. So the actual item that I have on this thing is a Cherry Berry, because the one thing that could cause some problems here is if it paralyzes me with Discharge. So I have the Cherry Berry just in case that comes in. Flash Cannon would be neutral. Light Screen does absolutely nothing because I'm using physical attacks. So not at all, you know, troubled by that. I would substitute, but the sub wouldn't survive a Discharge or a Flash Cannon, so there's no reason to use that. And then her last mon is Tinkaton, which does have Stone Edge, but is not going to use it because I think Gigaton Hammer is actually stronger because of the Terastalization and everything. It has Brick Break too, but again, not really going to use that. And honestly, if Corviknight and Bronzong couldn't survive this Flare Blitz, there's no way Tinkaton can either. So we're just going to one-shot it with this too. No reason to set up if there's no danger, right? So we will simply do that. Now we could have maybe used a substitute here to stop Gigaton Hammer from being like a one-shot. But then, I don't even know if it would be a one-shot, because Tinkaton's attack is not very high. And as you can see, if we've got Flare Blitz and we just get the KO, why do we even need to worry about setting up, right? No need to play quote-unquote safe if you've just got the nuke button like that. Now, Arcanine and one of the other two here are at level 62 now, so they would not be usable until the champion. But none of them are. I wanted to take revenge on Eureka. Yep. So yeah, it's she's like, oh, I haven't had to do this forever. It's your turn, Mr. Larry. Imagine bringing him back for this as well. That's why he's like one. Honestly, again, I talked about Larry's design before. He's being kind of awesome. This sort of says a lot with it, because if you notice, he's wearing the same tie as before. It's me, Larry. If you notice, he actually has clouds on his tie. Like, he has a second typing for the stuff here. So it's kind of neat. Anyway, I reckon I should be able to use Wigglytuff here. This one might be a little bit more contentious. I'm thinking, like, honestly, Flavio probably works totally fine here as well. But I actually kind of want to use Wigglytuff because it's one of the only times it's going to get a chance to do anything. So we will go ahead and bring it in here. So the two that I can't, it's, yeah, the two fire types are the two which are, like, risky to use at this point. But that's totally fine. We'll just keep our stuff organized here. Go on through. And, yeah. Do I need anything else in here, given that it's flying type stuff? Probably not. I think we should be fine. So let's go ahead and try and use Wigglytuff for the bit here, because I haven't really used any of Wigglytuff stuff at the moment. So yeah, Boss told me to use a different type here, so yeah, take it up with the champ. Don't worry about it, you're fine. We will survive. Time to get to work. Yep. Also, the like streaks on his hair kind of to me also resemble like the Wind Gust type stuff, so yeah, if you hadn't guessed, he uses flying types this time. And Wigglytuff should be pretty reasonable here. If not, then I will switch out and it should be fine. But yeah, we're going to try it. So Wigglytuff saying here, as Tropia sets up Sunny Day, it does have Chlorophyll and Solar Beam, so that's going to be its main sort of thing. Wigglytuff, I found out, has Stockpile as one of its like relearn moves. So we get defense boosts from that, only up to 3 stages, but that should be good enough here. And with this, like, Solar Beam, I'm not anticipating doing that much damage, but we'll see. Because it is a Tropius after all, it shouldn't, yeah, 70 is a bit more than I would like, but we should be okay with that. So now with Stockpile 2, we've got double defenses instead of 1.5 times. So how much do we heal? A lot from leftovers as well, right? We heal 15, so that's pretty good. Our substitute will be 60, just on this, on one number short of being like the 64, right? So it's 63 HP substitute. So if after this attack we take less than that, we should be able to sub up and defend from that. And we do take less than that, right? So from here, Substitute will protect us from critical hits, and we should be good to go. It gets 2 more uses out of this Solar Beam, right? There's 2 turns of Sun left, pretty sure. And we'll be able to Nasty Plot and get ourselves a Draining Kiss set up as well. Yeah. 2 more tons of Sun. It'll probably want to recoup that after this lot. So yeah, this is going to bring us quite low. Like, it is dangerous. But yeah, it only does 40 damage at this point, so our Substitute survives quite easily. And we can set up Nasty Plots now, and by the time we need to worry about like our health total again, we'll be able to Draining Kiss and recover all of our stuff. So that's the idea from here, is that now we're just going to set up the Nasty Plot, and we're going to be slower than everything, but we are just going to get our health back with Draining Kiss. And that's the Wigglytuff setup way. It's a little spookier than I would like, but it is a Wigglytuff after all. Its defenses are not particularly high, it's its HP that's gigantic. So yeah, a little bit on the scarier side, but that's fine. I think the only thing that could really threaten, other than just a crit... Oh, we are just natively faster, that's kind of funny. Or it's a speed tie at worst. Tropius is very slow, but we also don't have speed investment, so whatever. Yeah, the only thing that could really worry me here would be if it was to S/ crit like a bunch of times, because it can't hit me with Dragon Pulse, obviously. I'm a fairy type, so yeah. We substitute this turn because Solar Beam will break this sub, and then we set up a fresh one immediately. I think we should have enough HP to do that like on the crapback here as well, so we'll be able to set up a Substitute 2 turns from now as well. And yeah, get real close to the line, but if it can't actually hit me, then it doesn't matter that much, you know. So we'll get our last Nasty Plot set up, because Draining Kiss is only 50 base power. We do need +6 here if we want to get the KOs on everything. So this one will not break the sub, is the idea. Yeah, no crit. If it did crit, then it would break the sub, and then things would get a little bit dicey. We would have to survive 2 crits in a row. But again, we are also at +3 in our defenses. Keep in mind, this Wigglytuff has max physical defense space, or just about max, so the heavy physical hitters that come near the end of this fight will not be too much of a problem for us. So yeah, we are cutting it very close as far as our HP total goes here, but it means that we keep a Substitute intact for the next Pokemon. And keep in mind, Draining Kiss, unlike other draining moves, will heal 75% of the damage that we deal. So we are going to heal a lot more health back here. Granted, not a ton in comparison to Wigglytuff's gigantic HP total, but enough where it is not that much of an issue. So yeah, was this the most consistent way I could sweep this fight? No, and this is assuming it still works, right? There's still potential problems that could come up here, but like, was it the most consistent way? No, but is Wigglytuff going to get to do anything otherwise? Probably not. So I thought this would be entertaining nonetheless. Yeah, look how much we healed off of that, because Tropius' HP total is actually quite high. This is one good stat, is its high HP. So we actually healed an awful lot coming off of that. And yeah, now we get to just sweep from here. I think we can successfully do a Staraptor. Yeah, we can set up a Substitute in the face of this. Because it's going to... It's funny, actually, that would have potentially helped us out. But yeah. So Brave Bird will KO the sub here, right? Because we've already taken a hit off of it. So again, we'll just play a little bit on the safer side with it to try and keep a Substitute set up for the following Pokemon. Again, I don't think it matters that much, but there are some potential issues if we don't keep this up. So just play safe with it. I'm pretty sure Brave Bird won't KO it at a +3 with basically max defense EVs, so we will be fine. And yep, Training Kiss, just get the KO. Staraptor's got very low special defense. Also, keep in mind, Staraptor was his ace in the gym leader fights, but it was a normal flying type, right? So it works in both encounters. And again, I just think that's cool, the way that they designed the dude for this. Altaria coming on in here, most definitely not going to be that much of a threat. But I think, again, we'll probably just play safe with it and make sure that the substitute is up here. The logic really being that the Oricorio that comes in after this does have Teeter Dance, which would confuse us, and I could see a world where Confusion self-hits plus critical hit on like Revelation Dance or a bunch of flinches on Air Slash could actually cost us the Wigglytuff here. So even though this does seem excessive, it is all in the name of making sure this thing survives, basically. Just being 100% safe off of this, right? Because the crits would bypass the defense drops, and if we keep hitting ourselves in Confusion, as unlikely as that is post Gen 7, it's still possible, and that would suck. That would be the worst way to go. So, you know, let's just make absolute sure that we don't get caught like that. Revelation Dance, electric type move, because of the type of the Oricorio here. Fun fact, you can actually catch an Oricorio like ridiculously early. It's really rare in the opening routes, but it does exist, and I did not know that. It is this type of Oricorio. Like, I saw it for the first time when I was starting off this playthrough, actually. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, the last one here is Flamigo. And Flamigo is a decently strong physical attacker, but it doesn't have any super effective moves against us, so I am totally fine going with the my unsub section here. I could have gone substitute again on the Oricorio's Revelation Dance, right? Done the same shtick here, but I don't think it's necessary. I guess maybe a crit Brave Bird would be a problem, but it's just going close combat. Yeah, that's obviously not doing very much. And then Draining Kiss, no longer super effective, but yeah, why didn't it go for Brave Bird, actually? It was an interesting sort of question there. Brave Bird would have done more damage. So, not really sure what it was thinking with that. Usually the AI would go for the stronger moves, so, because he doesn't have the AI that just picks attacks at random, so I don't know. Strange. Took the wind from under our wings. Yep, so that is Fight 3 done. Yeah, I suppose the final member is next. It's your turn, Hazel. Nobody came out the door. Where could he be? He's probably just not hearing you because you're like super quiet, Mr. Larry. Come on in, Hazel. Yeah, you may need to speak up just a little bit more. Hassel? Oh, for goodness sake. Hassel! Yep. It's fun. So in is the art teacher, our final one here. Delights us to see you here. Yep. And this is where the level cap for the Elite Four comes in. In case you're unfamiliar with Nuzlocke stuff, level caps for the Elite Four are always set at what the final member is. But the sort of keep in mind point for it is that if you level higher than the champion, then it becomes a problem. Because it is counted as a separate cap for most people. So, like, Gita is level 62. So all of these ones that we have at 62 here are completely fine. Actually, surprisingly, even Wigglytuff didn't overlevel for the final bit here. So that's kind of cool. I honestly thought I was gonna end up having stuff too high a level for the bit here. So I'm happy to see that. Anyway. Our last one is a Dragon-type user, So ideally we would have our fairy stuff in here, but that's what we already have with it here. I am going to go for a Miss Major sweep on this one actually, and to facilitate that we are going to start with the light screen on the Espaffer. So there's a couple of ways around this one. I was thinking Comfey is pretty good here for the same reason that Wigglytuff was good in the previous one, of the whole Draining Kiss type thing, especially because it has priority, so once it's set up it would basically kill everything. Dragalge is the only reason why I'm a little bit less sure about that, but even then, it's like Crit Sludge Bomb would have to be the way. But the the way to lose that. But the problem is the Noivern, because the Noivern has Super Fang, and Super Fang makes it very difficult to maintain health for the fight. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set up Light Screen here, and I'm going to U-turn into Miss Magus, because I'm pretty sure Miss Magus' Draining Kiss will still be completely fine off of this. So we set up Light Screen with the Light Clay in order to make sure that we take less damage when setting up, because Miss Magus is going to use Nasty Plot instead of Calm Mind here. You could Calm Mind, but Nasty Plot is much faster, so we're going to use that instead here. And yeah, so this Dragon Pulse is going to do more than I would like, actually. Maybe this is not going to work. I think we still need to Mystical Fire to debuff it a little bit further. I don't know if I'm going to get set up fast enough, is the problem. So we'll see. Air Slash, that's fine, that's acceptable. So yeah, Miss Magus is pretty frail. It's 105 special defense, so like that part of it's fine, but it's just not particularly high in terms of HP totals and whatnot, right? So this does still have the potential to go wrong. See, that's doing like 40, which is a lot, but survivable. So if we go one more, we might only get to +4. I think that'll be okay. Not really sure if there's a way that I would get more after that, so I think we do just have to go from here and just hope this is enough. Maybe you could have taught Dazzling Gleam as well, but I think the Shadow Ball is better long term, so yeah, we'll go for that. Get ourselves healed back up here. So the biggest problems now would be, I think Flapple and Haxorus should just get one shot. So we're fine with that. Dragalge would be the one that would survive, if anything, I think. Haxorus coming on in here. See, the other problem is that it's not the same type bonus, right? Also, Haxorus has got Iron Head. It's one of the other things. There's a fair few things that can hit through. Draining Kiss is only 100 base power. If I'm actually concerned, I guess I should just Shadow Ball here, because it's 120 base power thanks to same type bonus. So it's actually stronger than the Draining Kiss, and yeah, Shadow Ball at +4 should KO, so that's good. 105 base special attack, modest nature, +4, again, should be mostly fine. So that's why we keep Shadow Ball. Again, Dazzling Gleam could have been kept here, but Dragalge is neutral to Fairy, so I kind of wanted Shadow Ball specifically for this thing. Keep in mind, we still have Light Screen up here, so I don't think its Dragon Pulse is going to do that much, even if it did somehow survive. But +4 is enough, so nothing is going to survive at this point. Light Screen did wear off, but that is totally fine. There are no more special attacks in the fight, so we just have to click Shadow Ball and win. And that is it. Crit mattered, totally. Flapple was going to be the one that survived there, 100%. I mean, Baxcalibur is quite strong, but it also shouldn't survive this. Don't let up, indeed. Kind of glad to see Miss Magus getting to do something here, to be honest. It was always one of my favorite ghost types, so it's kind of cool that they got Mystical Fire, and Power Gem actually was the other one that they got in Gen 7, because I used it in the battle tree initially before getting stuff like Naganadel set up. It was cool, because Naganadel wasn't in Sun and Moon, it was in the Ultra games, right? So yeah, this was one of the first Pokemon I used in that, for Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Mystical Fire, Power Gem. Didn't do the best, but it was still really cool. And yeah, oh, it's nice to see it actually doing something here as well. Not the Pokemon you would expect to sweep through this fight, but yeah, neat. I did have other stuff, as you could see. I had other stuff set up just in case there was a need to go with something else going in here. You really did it. Oh, wow. Wonderful. So bad. Yeah, I love this guy. He's just so emotional. There, want a hug? Yep. No man can get like that. So what if I do just overworld? Yep. So yeah, we passed it. Passed the test. It's pretty good. Yeah, you're tougher than steel. Yep. Did so beautifully. Indeed, we certainly did. But there's just one little bit more. We have to beat the top champion. So yeah, Fearless Commander, the final opponent you'll face. Uh-huh. You won't find a mightier champion. I don't know about that. The difficulty here really was just like keep your stuff alive and whatnot, right? For this one, but yeah, Geeta, I actually don't think she's the worst champion in good luck. Even a baby dragon can breathe fire. Yeah, I don't think she's the absolute worst champion we've ever had, but she uses some very, very bad Pokemon here. And, like, her ace should have come out first, basically. So, yeah, to say that she's, like, the top champion ever would be the grossest of overstatements. So, I think Water-type sweeping should be completely fine here. That is the main idea. Low Kicks is going to come out first because of her lead is the best one to deal with that. Otherwise, who else do I even want in this fight at this point? I didn't really plan on like every Pokemon still being usable for this, I'll be completely honest. I think I mean, it's another water type, but like Chloritza is pretty reasonable in a lot of the stuff with it here. I don't really know. I guess a fire type could probably be quite good, although we have the fighting type stuff we can use against King Gambit as well. But this could be nice for Avalugg, so I suppose we could go in with that. And yeah, there's not really much else that I want. Like, I guess we could probably bring in Bellybolt, because it's got decent defenses and whatnot. Yeah, honestly, I don't really know. I ain't got much of a thing of like I need to bring these specific Pokemon for this. So, and I know Arvin is a level 63 cap, so I guess I could try and keep stuff aside for that, but honestly, I think I'm fine with his fight anyway. I've got a decent idea as to what I want to do against it, so I don't think it involves any of the mons that we have in the party here. So, yeah, all you need to do is win. I just tried to say, yeah, I am utterly incapable of holding back when it comes to Pokemon battles. Is that so, huh? Bit of a problem, huh? You might just manage something wonderful. Yeah, this is quite a nice one to have at nighttime, to be honest. It's funny seeing this during the day, because usually it's nighttime by the time I do this fight. But today it's in the middle of the day, so there we go. Espafra is the lead, and this is the reason why Low Kicks is coming out first. This is not a setup mon, but first impression is just going to absolutely dumpster this thing, and it kills it before it gets a chance to do anything too dangerous. So yeah, we guarantee the KO on the opening Pokemon here. That was the correct decision in this situation. Yep. So we take that out, no problem. A lot of her team is weak to Low Kicks, to be honest. The only things that I would have any issue against, this is not one of them because I taught Double Kick. The only things I would have any issues with, potentially, is the Avalugg, because it's just too high in defense. And maybe the Glamora if it outspeeds, but that comes at the very end of the fight. Now, King Gambit does get more power for the Pokemon that have already died. Oh! I genuinely thought that was going to KO. Well, we're probably losing Low Kicks now because it has Stone Edge. Yep. Oops! Oh my goodness, we survived! Oh, we live. Okay. That's crazy. How on earth? I mean, I guess because it didn't come out later on. I genuinely thought Double Kick was going to be strong enough to KO this. I didn't want to risk Axe Kick because if it fails, then you lose half of your health, right? It does not have Sucker Punch, so we can just KO it here. Wow, I am impressed at the survivability of this. I thought this was just a really frail bug that didn't have any sort of benefit that way, but obviously I was wrong. Now, what she should send in here is not what she's sending in. She should send in Veluza because it has Aqua Jet, but she's not doing that, so we can U-turn against the Go-Goat here and survive very easily. Oh, just one-shots too. This guy is really strong. Very frail, but really, really strong. Maybe if I told it Swords Dance and, you know, like, I guess we could have eaten Dazzling Gleam off of Espafra. Maybe Swords Dance would have been enough to just let it win the entire fight. So what's she got left? She's got Veluza, she's got Avalugg, and she has Glimmora. I think all of those are beaten by Rocco-chan. So let's go ahead and bring Chloritza in here, and we'll just win with this. Because Mega Launcher and my coverage moves, super effective against all of these Pokemon at this point. So, Aura Sphere, this does not have Sturdy, it has Own Tempo, so we don't have to worry about that bit. Honestly, Avalugg having Sturdy could have been a bit of an annoyance for a lot of Pokemon in this fight, but thankfully that's not where we're at, so we're fine. Veluza is Psycho Cut, I guess, would be the most dangerous move here. I think I have a little bit of speed investment on this thing, so maybe I outspeed. I don't, but Psycho Cut doesn't do that much. She does not have Sharpness, she has Mold Breaker, so that was the best attack that she could do. Not really that much of an issue. And then the last Pokemon, her only special attacker, which is in other than the Espafra at the start, right? 2 special attackers, 4 physical. Kind of weird, but whatever. Yeah, is Glimmora, which should have come out earlier because of her Terastal stuff, right? Not the Terastal, the Toxic Debris. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're going to die from Terra Blast here, so I'm pretty sure we should be safe. Like, if I had Assault Vest, I'd be a little bit safer here, but I'm pretty sure we should be fine. Also, the Go-Goat does have a setup move, it has Bulk Up. That's like the other sort of... Oh, Sludge Wave is fine, this won't kill. Yeah. Terra would have done another 30%. Terra Blast is weaker than Sludge Wave as well. So, yeah, we would have survived. Not by much, but we would have survived. And there we go, that is the Elite Four down. Yeah, some setup, some not setup. It's not always necessary to do setup attacks in every single fight. Just, you can see sometimes it makes it a bit more dangerous to not. If we did do Swords Dance in place of, like, I guess so we would have had Leech Life and Swords Dance instead of First Impression and U-Turn, and if we had those, I'm pretty sure we would have just won this fight with low kicks alone. So maybe that's a way that you could consider doing this otherwise. Dazzling Gleam would not one-shot. Crying again, yep. It would not have one-shot. It's just not, it's not same type. Espafra is not that ridiculously powerful by itself, so even though low kicks is very frail, it would not have been enough. So, and then we set up one Swords Dance, we Leech Life the thing, and that's it. That's everything. That's all we would have needed to do. Because Bug, Fighting, and we don't even need Dark, to be honest, in this fight. Just Bug and Fighting is enough to hit every single Pokemon super effective. So, yeah, very silly in the end. Oh man, I'm a champion now and you're a champion. Which means we're true equals. Yep. They made have one thing to say. Let's be the best of rivals alive. No. You know, rivals do battle their absolute hearts out. Uh-huh. Not yet. But we will. What's the matter? Yeah, we've only just finished the fight to be the champion here. Come on. Champions must be understanding towards their opponents. Indeed. Yep. It's fine. We'll get there. Yeah, Where else would we fight? It's a decent question with a bit. Use one of the elite courts? Nah, there's gotta be something better than that, right? So yeah, behind her house would have been an interesting one. This is the one I clicked initially and was like incorrect, but could have been. Treasure Eatery, not really that special, let's be honest, but Mesogoza, definitely up there, right? Told us to go in search of her own treasure? Uh-huh. A true rival, indeed. Yay! Friendship! Be waiting at the battle court, uh-huh. Don't worry, we will get to you. Even a bit enviable, huh? Didn't even reveal her full power, huh? Well, that surely sounds ominous, doesn't it? But in reality, it just means, oh man, you are very slightly higher leveled. Oh man. Yeah, honestly, she is though. She is the first one who will be able to allow Hydreigon to come in if I want it to. So, yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, I did set up quite a bit just working out which mons I wanted to bring in, just in case like it was backup plans for things, right? But that went pretty well. However, she is at level 66, is the level cap for Nemona. So, we will do the Arven fight first, and then the Nemona fight. And that's going to be next time stuff. So, until then, thank you very much for watching. This has been GamerCal. Doing the Elite Four stuff, being pretty nice, and it really shows, even though a lot of our Pokemon are like Route 1 mons, it shows how powerful the team has become here. Very, very good stuff. Until next time, though. Take care.